I never imagined a single sentence could end a marriage. But that night proved how fragile trust really is. My name is Marissa. I am 38, and until recently, I believed my life was stable, predictable, safe. Ethan and I had been married 11 years, built routines, shared friends, shared bills, shared boredom, and shared jokes that only made sense to us. I always thought humor meant comfort, that sarcasm meant closeness, that love, once secured, could survive careless words. I was wrong. And the moment I realized it, my husband was already gone. That silence rewrote everything forever. The joke happened during dinner with friends. Casual wine, easy laughter, nothing dramatic, nothing hostile. Someone asked how Ethan and I met, and without thinking, I smiled and said, he was not my first choice, just the one who stayed. I meant it lightly, teasing myself more than him, but the room shifted instantly. People laughed awkwardly. Ethan smiled politely, nodded once, and kept eating. I did not notice his hands tightening, his jaw locking, or the way his eyes went distant. I noticed nothing, because comfort makes you careless. That moment planted something cold between us permanently that night. Later, in the car, I laughed again, repeating the joke, trying to prove it meant nothing. Ethan stayed quiet, eyes on the road, fingers steady on the wheel. Silence filled the space where affection usually lived. At home, he said he was tired and went to bed early. No argument, no accusation, no raised voice. I felt irritated, not guilty. I told myself he was overreacting, that secure men should handle jokes. I went to sleep annoyed, convinced morning would erase everything like it always had before. I underestimated how deeply respect matters to men in quiet marriages like ours. The next morning, his side of the bed was empty, perfectly made, untouched. His clothes were gone from the closet, his toothbrush missing, his charger unplugged. No note, no text, no explanation, just absence. I checked my phone repeatedly, irritation slowly curdling into unease. Hours passed. Messages stayed unread. By afternoon, fear crept in, but pride kept me from apologizing. I told myself he needed space. I told myself men cool off. Deep down, a quiet voice whispered that something irreversible had been triggered, and I ignored it deliberately. Silence became louder than any argument we ever had together before. 2 days later, I heard from his sister Rowan, asking if Ethan was okay. My stomach dropped. I lied, said he was busy, traveling for work. She paused, then said he had called their father. Calm, composed, final. He told them he was done being tolerated. That phrase echoed in my head. Tolerated, not loved, not chosen. I replayed the joke endlessly, realizing how it sounded through his ears. I had reduced our marriage to a consolation prize and laughed while doing it, surrounded by witnesses. The realization felt humiliating, sharp, and entirely deserved by me in that painful moment. I finally understood something cruelly simple. Ethan did not leave because of cheating or betrayal or another woman. He left because dignity, once cracked, cannot be glued back together with apology. Men like him endure quietly, hoping effort will be seen. When it is mocked, even jokingly, something closes forever. I had mistaken his steadiness for weakness, his silence for safety. The truth is, he heard my words as a confession, that he was second, that I settled, that if someone better arrived, loyalty would be negotiable. Those thoughts destroy trust faster than anger ever could in long marriages ours. A week passed with no contact. Friends stopped asking questions. I stopped pretending I was fine. At night, the house felt enormous, echoing with things unsaid. I drafted messages, apologies, explanations, then deleted them all. What could I say that would restore being chosen? Sorry does not resurrect pride. I realized something else then. something uncomfortable. I had enjoyed feeling superior in that moment, enjoyed the laugh, enjoyed the power of being desired first by someone else, even in theory. That awareness was harder than losing him. It exposed a flaw I could no longer ignore about myself honestly now. When his lawyer emailed, my hands shook. He was filing quietly, efficiently, without demands or drama. No accusations, no negotiations, just distance formalized. Reading it, I finally felt the weight of consequence. This was not a lesson or a scare tactic. This was an ending. Friends told me he was too sensitive, that marriages survive worse. They sounded like me at that dinner table. Dismissing pain because it is inconvenient does not make it disappear. It teaches people to leave instead, silently, permanently, without looking back. That realization arrived too late to change anything meaningful between us anymore at all. I am telling this story not to excuse myself, but to warn others. Words reveal hierarchy. Jokes expose truth. If you treat someone as optional, eventually they will opt out. Ethan did not scream, threaten, or beg. He simply removed himself from a position that hurt. That restraint is what makes this loss permanent. I still miss him. I miss the man who chose me first, even when I stopped choosing him back. Regret is living with the echo of a laugh that cost everything. Some mistakes teach gently. Others teach by taking what you assumed was secure forever away. If you are listening and laughing along, thinking a joke is harmless, pause. Respect is not dramatic, but its absence is devastating. Love does not demand perfection, only priority. I learned too late that being chosen is not guaranteed by time served. It is renewed daily through words and care. Ethan renewed his choice to leave the moment I revealed he was second in my mind. I live now with that truth. Some exits are quiet because they were decided long before the door finally closed. And silence, once chosen, rarely asks permission to stay gone forever, without apology, return.